When you're in the wilderness, what ways do you use to keep your food secure overnight? Stick with me. Let me show you the right way to do it. All right, this is JB with Going Wild here, talking about something that a lot of people don't mention in these videos. What to do in the wilderness at night with your food. If you leave it in the tent, you're going to have an unwelcome visitor. A bear is going to crash through your tent just to get the food, possibly injure somebody. Forest Service recommends either a bear hang properly done or a bear canister, which is a commercially made product that bears can't get into. You can buy them on Amazon pretty cheap, fairly cheap, but they do weigh a bit. And if you're hiking far, a lot of times the best option is to do a properly bear hang. And there's several different methods of bear hang. I'm going to use the one I use the most, especially with just my personal food. See, I've got food for a week or so. And first thing you want to do, I'm in the backyard here, is pick a tree. You can see this one right here with a limb that's high enough and sturdy enough to support a bear's weight, because they will climb up there and go out on that limb and try to get your food. So you want it heavy enough to support a bear's weight. Okay, and black bear, they do climb their whole life, even though they're pretty heavy, several hundred pounds. They can get up a tree pretty easily. Grizzly bears, once they hit adulthood, they rarely climb. They push over most trees actually at that age, but the young grizzlies do still climb. And black bears, like I said, here in the southeast, they climb their whole life and often live up in the trees. And so they're very accustomed. I've sat and watched bears, tried to get my bear hang, sat and watched them from my hammock, and they'll climb up and they'll drop down. Doesn't seem to hurt them. They just get back up and try it again, and try to jump after your food. I've seen them reach up. Let me put the camera down here so I can demonstrate. I've seen them stand underneath and try to grab it like that. I don't think they can jump like that because I've never seen them do it. They can jump with all fours, but I don't think they can stand on their back legs and jump. Okay, the first step we're going to do, try to get this all here. First step we're going to do is we have to throw something over the limb. I recommend, I got some 550 cord here and a couple of carabiners. It's usually enough weight to get it over. This is, I believe, 50 foot of cord, 550 cord. Once again, if you're hanging a group's food, it's better, if you're with a group, it's better to do one bear hang than several. If you're hanging a group's food, you probably need a thicker rope. And I recommend straps, climbing webbing over rope, for they carry more weight and they don't damage the trees because they're flat and secure and snug. Okay, there is an art to this. I'm going to take and tie on my carabiners here. I'm going to use a bowline for this. Some people say bowline. I've heard bowline. It's pronounced, spelled bowline, like a nautical knot. Got my carabiners on there. This is to create a fixed loop that does not slip. Rabbit jumps out of the hole, runs around the tree, jumps back in the hole. You just pull it snug. And if you get it backwards, it doesn't work, so you know get it backwards. Wrap it on top. The loop goes on top. Rabbit jumps out of the hole, runs around the tree, back in the hole. There we go. And so I've got my carabiners there. Then what I want to do is get a few feet hanging. I want to coil up the line inside my throwing hand, enough to give me some distance. Once again, you want your bag to hang 12 to 15 feet high, and you want it to be at least 8 to 10 feet off the tree. So we're going to tension it out. All right, let me give this a shot here. I think you can see it through the camera there. Your bear hang should be 100 to 200 feet from camp. And made that first try. Lucky shot, maybe. But I have had lots of practice. Okay, the next thing I want to do is take my food bag. I'm going to grab that real quick. Got my food bag here with some simulated food for several days. Go ahead and drop that. I like a dry bag. Just roll it up. I'm actually going to take off the shoulder strap for this one. Roll it up. Snap it together. And this one happens to have a loop, which I like a lot, for the carabiner. Okay, got my line here. Now what I'm going to do, this is something a little different. Instead of just pulling it straight up and letting it dangle straight down, I'm going to clip the carabiner to my tension line here. And as it pulls up, you'll notice it pulls away from the tree. So I'm going to get that about 12 to 15 feet high. I'm going to move the camera over here so you can see me tie it off. On a tree here. Okay. So I've got it tensioned out. I'm going to do a round turn, 2 half hitches. I'm going to walk around the tree one time. Complete turn. Under, over and through. Under, over and through. And I've got my quick release at it. I like to add the quick release for that one. I've shown that knot in previous videos. And you can see here, I've got at least 15 feet high. It's off the tree. The line's coming down to where it's not too easy to see. Bears sometimes will learn to go after the lines, especially in the Smoky Mountains National Park. They have had some bears learn that. And another thing I wanted to show you is if I do have lots of weight, of course this is not enough weight to damage the tree bark or anything, or the tree, but if I do have lots of weight, what I'll use, let me lower this, for my tree, to protect the tree, let me lower the bag there. I'll take some climbing webbing here. Okay, for heavy loads, what I like to do is utilize some climbing webbing here. I'll strap that around the tree, kind of like a girth hitch there. Just pull it through. Bring it down so you can see it a little better. I like to do it high, but it doesn't have to be. Hugs the tree. Okay, then I'm going to tie a loop in here. I'm going to do just a figure 8 here. Gives me a little loop on the inside. Pull that through. You see a figure 8 there. And it gives me a loop here. I'm going to strap my carabiner to it. Got my butterfly knot secured onto the tree here. And pull that through, clip that in, and you see that. A good model. Use this line, you can see it a little better. Try to do it backwards here. Kind of gets me turned around. Okay, the butterfly knot. Create two eyes and a smile. Okay, you can kind of see it right there. We'll put the eyes over each other, hold it with my thumb, and we'll take the smile, come up through the back side, and come through the two holes. Just like that. And that gives me my butterfly. And the good thing about the butterflies is very easy even after being under tension overnight. You take the lock here, pull it through, and the knot's gone. Figure eight. This is figure eight on a bite. I'm just going to take the loop, the bite here, go under, over, and come back through the hole. And you can see it makes a nice figure eight. Very handy knot, especially in the climbing community. It's how you tie into your belay system or to your harness for climbing. Good job. All right, we can see here, got our system nice and secure. Got our bag hanging. And this is JB with Going Wild, reminding you to use proper bear protocol when in bear country. Also, get outside and go wild.